Hello everyone, Muckluck Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire the Fourth here, and this is a guide to starting your Guild Wars 2 adventure. This guide is made for those that are just starting out in Tyria. Perhaps you saw my non-award winning, non-Emmy nominated video, Why Play Guild Wars 2, explaining the appeal, and decided to download it. Or perhaps great minds think alike and you ended up here all by yourself. Or perhaps you're here at 2 AM, Doug, and you need to go to bed, you have a big day tomorrow. Just kidding! Imagine Doug's face right now though. Priceless. Step 1. Install the game. A super quick note here, if you have any trouble with downloading the game and are on Windows 10, there was an update that may be messing with you. The fix for it is in the description. Step 2. Choose your server. For every game mode except World v World, as long as you and your friends are both on North American servers or both on European servers, you can play together. For World vs. World only, you need to be on the exact same server in most cases. Example, I am on Gate of Madness, a North American server. I can do all content in-game with any other NA player no matter their server, but I can only do World vs. World with people also on Gate of Madness on a consistent basis. There are rotating server alliances, but let's not go into that right now. You can mail between any servers, even NA and EU. Step 3. Character creation. Choose your race. Now this is an unreversible decision that will forever commit every character you make after this day to the race that you pick, and you will be unable to group with other races. I'm kidding, come back. Your race will determine your starting area and thus greatly influence your story for the first 20 levels or so. There are some racial skills, but for the most part they are replaced by your class skills, so think of this purely as a cosmetic option. Pick the one that you like to look at. Gender. Cosmetic and affects your character's voice in cutscenes. There is a lot of voice acting in this game, no other effects. Class. We've got 9 classes here. 8 if you do not have the expansions. The Revenant was introduced in the Heart of Thorns. A brief synopsis of each class, going into full detail, would be an entirely new video. I will touch on what each class can do, as well as their 2 optional elite specializations that you can access with the expansions. Note, these specializations do not always make the class better, but different. You can still enjoy hundreds of hours of content and be competitive before buying the expansions if you wish. Warrior. It's a jock. Your basic Hulk smash class if Hulk also used a freaking gun from time to time. Can elite spec into Berserker or Spellbreaker for different flavors of smash. Guardian, aka the Blue Warrior. If you played a Paladin in other games, you would like Guardian. Has lots of beneficial auras, really likes imbuing his weapons with fire. Can elite spec into Dragon Hunter, which gives traps and bow skills, or Firebrand. It can support like a cleric, but if you make him mad, he sets you on fire. 20 times. Revenant. Added in Heart of Thorns, the Revenant is the last of the heavy armor options. Revenants claim to access the skills of dead heroes and use them at their disposal. Everyone else wonders if they are schizophrenic. They have different dead heroes they can channel that give them very different strengths depending on the situation. Can elite spec into Herald, which is a big burst damage version, or the Renegade summons stationary spirits that buffs nearby allies similar to totems from many other MMOs. The second row is the medium armor options. Ranger, your bow and arrow class with a pet companion to help hide how lonely we really are. Did I say we? I meant he. Can elite spec into Druid, a healer / buffer, or a soul beast. Can merge with your pet's soul to gain animalistic abilities such as clawing, leaping, spitting acid, getting stuck in trees, dragging your tush on the carpet, etc. Thief. A backstabbing, egomaniacal, opportunistic kleptomaniac. He goes invisible and goes stab stab or blam blam if he likes pistols. Can elite spec into Daredevil, he gains access to a staff for bonk bonk, or Deadeye. He is a sniper now, upgrades blam blam into boom. Engineer. All of the DPS of a glass cannon except with 27 more utility buttons, has a plethora of gadgets and tools at his disposal, can set up turrets, throw grenades, landmines, and more. Can elite spec into Scrapper, often considered tanky. The Scrapper wields a 2-handed hammer and has small drones flying around him assisting him, or a Hollowsmith. It's Green Lantern. He makes things out of light and he beats you up with them. The third row is the light armor options. Necromancer. You know darn well what a Necromancer is and you know it. He makes spooky stuff. Elite specs into the Reaper to become a melee powerhouse similar to a Death Knight from other games, or a Scourge, likes to hang back and rain dots down on you, and can guard his allies with shields of sand. Elementalist. The Elementalist is considered a higher skill cap for a starter player, but completely possible. It's basically Aang at the start of the Avatar show, can wield one element at a time but swap between them, changing the flavor of your weapon skills. Can elite spec into the Weaver, which is essentially Aang at the end of the last Avatar show. You can do everything at once, including block, dodge, evade, reflect attacks, set enemies on fire, move around, heal yourself, cure conditions, become invulnerable, put up barriers protecting your health bar, make tea, fill out those TPS reports, balance your checkbook, and chase muck and PvP all the way back to the respawn. They can also become a Tempest, which is Uncle Iroh? Look, this metaphor is falling apart. The Tempest shoots lightning and water a lot and can heal allies quite well and fry people. Mesmer, basically an illusionist, except his illusions hurt. Is the Mesmer Green Lantern? Mesmers are adept at creating many clones of themselves and confusing enemies and trying to get that big damage off before the enemy figures out which one is real. Can elite spec into Chronomancer, which can time travel softly, or the Mirage, gaining even more ways of using their illusions, such as having themselves plus 3 copies of themselves appear from invisibility for an ambush. Okay, so now that you've all chosen Ranger, you chose Ranger, right? Play with your features until you're gorgeous. Make a choice of a starting item. In the case of the Ranger, you choose your first pet. Most classes will choose a piece of equipment to start with. Pick whatever you like. Pick Charming, Dignity, or Ferocity to choose how your character talks in some dialogue options. I like being a silver-tongued charmer myself. The next 3 options will affect your background and your main questline up to level 30. Again, pick what you like. If you and a friend are playing together, you can pick the same background options to do the quest stages together at the same time, or pick different ones and help each other out. Pick your name, watch a fabulous cutscene about your choices, and dive into the game. Most of the controls are the same as similar MMOs, and you can change any keybind you don't like in the options. By default, you can click H to access the hero panel, which includes your equipped items, and I is your inventory. You will start out with some basic armor and a weapon, and you can pick a different weapon if you want very soon. You will have 2 skills. Read at least the basic text on every skill you get at the top. Your 1 skill is essentially an auto attack. We can see that as a ranger with a longbow, it is a very long-range shot that does more damage the further away I am. Your 6 is... Now that is an intimidating wall of text. Your 6 is a self-healing move, but there's a nice summary at the top. The Ranger starting heal gives me and my pet a copy of each other's boons, as well as a heal for both of us. If we don't have any boons, it's just a heal for the both of us. The rest of that is just a description of all the boons in the game that could possibly be copied between us. We don't have to read all that right now. I have a couple of control tips that I will recommend to you after we get out of the tutorial, but for now, let's have some fun. Top right of the screen has some green text, and nearby is someone with a green marker on their head. This is also visible on the minimap in the corner and the main map. Hotkey M, green is your primary questline. This story will weave throughout the entire game, but for now, just talk to that person. Spoiling the story for you is not the goal of this video, so I'll give you a summary that will work for any race's newbie zone. Follow the green markers and help solve a problem. For the Norns, that problem is you are not partying hard enough. The green markers on the map will direct you. Also, if you have sweaty hands and you dislike hand-holding, that will end soon, so stick with me here. At the end of your short journey is an event. It may already be in progress if another brand new character has started it. Some story will happen, then a big boss will appear. And these things are gorgeous. Now, it isn't a complex fight. You are level 1 after all. Take its health to 0 and keep yours above 0. Story, cutscene, reward, done with tutorial, and we're in the open world. At this point, you could go in any direction you choose and start roaming the world, you brave adventurer. However, stick with me if you would like to know more from your predecessors, yeah? If you want to PvP, you can now click the cross swords at the top of the screen to dive into the PvP lobby, which temporarily makes you max level with all abilities unlocked. You can try different skills, see if you like them, and decide on goals to look forward to in PvE as well. However, I imagine for most people, this will be like drinking water from a fire hose, way too much information at once. First, I recommend we change a couple of simple controls to make your life easier. This is optional, but I highly recommend it. Show all usable object names. Lets you see things you can interact with, sometimes even treasure chests or resources from much farther away. Double tap to evade. Turn this off, or I promise you will trigger this by mistake when you don't mean to. Okay, just one more jump and I'm finally done. I can do this. I can do this. No! Bind evade, aka the dodge roll, to something else. I like to use V. Turn on auto loot so that when you click a dead enemy, you automatically vacuum up the treasure without getting a confirmation box. And turn on AoE loot to let you loot more than one enemy at once. There's lots of other nice settings in here, but those are the crucial ones in my opinion to start with. Vistas. This icon is a Vista. When you interact with one, you get a small cinematic view of the surrounding area. As you progress the game, the vistas will be more challenging to reach, such as higher up or on a cliff. These give experience and will count toward filling your map completion. Tasks, aka hearts. Tasks, also known as hearts, are like small quests in an area. When you enter an area of a task, it will pop up at the top right of the screen with a list of things you can do to help. You can do anything on that list to fill the bar up. Once it's full, you complete it and get a reward, which includes karma, the purple currency. Karma is account-wide, so it will share on all your characters. Additionally, the person with the heart on their head for that area will become a merchant. You can spend karma to buy items there if you wish. Points of interest. The square icon is a point of interest. You just walk near it and discover it to fill it in. This is a good time to point out personal waypoints. If you hold Alt and left click on the map, you can set a personal waypoint. It then shows up on the minimap at the bottom right. This makes it easier to set yourself a place that you want to go. Alt-clicking on it again will make it disappear. Waypoint. The diamond-shaped icon is a waypoint. Once unlocked by simply getting near it, you can teleport to it at any time by clicking on it on the minimap or on the large map and paying a few coins. This is your primary mode of long-distance travel. Additionally, if you open the world map, you will start with one waypoint in each race's starter zone. If for some reason you tire of the starter zone that you're in and want to try another race's, you can. Just remember, your personal story quest line with the green markers will be in your race's land, so you will have to go back there at some point to advance it. Underwater. You'll notice when I went underwater briefly here that all my buttons are locked. We'll come back to that. Hero challenges. The up arrow icon is a hero challenge. It's typically a stronger than normal monster or something to interact with that gives you a hero point. Hero points are used to unlock skills after reaching level 11 and getting your first utility slot. You can always use your racial skills, but in most cases your class skills will surpass them. Click on training and you can look through the different options and work toward whatever skill you wish. Remember, you can step into the PvP lobby and try out any skill in the game before committing if you wish to do so. Eventually, you will have enough hero points to unlock them all, but the order you unlock them in can influence how much fun you have during leveling. Here you can see, when I smash my new sword down, the screen shakes. You can disable camera shake if you wish in the options. The scouts, that's the telescope icon, will reveal a chunk of the map. What do your elf eyes see? Here I tried to use a charge ability, that's the Ranger's Greatsword 3 skill, to dash in a line, but it auto-targeted the nearby bug and it stopped me short. I then turned off auto-targeting in the options. Depending on your skill set, you may like it on or off, but know that it is an option. Boons and Conditions. In Guild Wars 2, you will occasionally see references to boons and conditions, such as my heal skill I started the game with. Boons are basically buffs, conditions are basically debuffs. No matter the source, they share icons to make it easier. For example, if an Elementalist set you on fire with magic, or an Engineer set you on fire with a flamethrower, either way, you're going to get a condition called Burning with a flame icon. Once you've played the game a bit, you will be able to recognize any boon or condition at a glance. At level 8, you get your first underwater weapon, a trident, a harpoon gun, or a spear, and a rebreather, which replaces your head slot item underwater, allowing you to breathe underwater. Now I can go get that point of interest in the water and fight underwater should I have to. What to do with your loot. Deposit all materials by clicking the button near the top right of your inventory. You teleport all materials, basically items used for crafting, to your bank material storage. You can use this anytime you wish to save trips to town. When you get equipment you don't need, you can do a few things. First, when you're at a merchant, click the Sell All Junk button to turn all your gray items into cash. Then, for the remainder, you can sell to the trading post, like an auction house with other players, sell to a merchant, or salvage it. Salvaging requires a salvage kit, bought from most merchants, and will give you the item's base materials for future crafting. Example, salvaging a sword would give you iron or other ores, salvaging a cloth robe would give you cloth. Map completion. When you finish a map and get every vista, point of interest, heart, hero point, and waypoint, you get a big treasure chest as a reward. You can see that one of my items here was a transmutation shard. This allows you to change the appearance of one item into another to maximize how fabulous you look. I recommend saving those until a higher level because your gear will change a lot during the leveling process. Your story quest. Occasionally, you will get more story available to you, green text in the top right. When you are ready, go to the indicated spot on your map and you will zone into an instanced version of the world and progress your main story. Your background options at character creation, as well as the choices you make during the story, will affect how it turns out. I recommend doing the story steps whenever possible because the rewards are often great. Plus, the story is awesome. Weapons. Each weapon plus class combination has different skill sets. You can view those by clicking H and going here. Read through them and see if you like the look of anything. If you, for example, think that axe skill set looks a lot more fun than what you're doing now, you could keep an eye out for an axe or go to the Black Lion Trading Company and buy one from another player. Here, I accidentally sold my starter bow when I was playing with other weapons, so I went to a Black Lion Trading Company representative in my capital city and I bought a replacement. On the topic of town, let's briefly mention the bank. The NPCs in town with this icon on their head are the bankers. The bank is account-wide storage, so you can use it to transfer items between your characters. Additionally, there is a material storage here over to the side. This is where your materials go when you press Deposit All Materials. By default, the bank can hold 250 of every type of material in the game. Very nice. Gathering. After a few levels, you will be given your first set of gathering tools, a harvesting tool, a logging axe, and a mining pick. You use these to gather materials you find, typically plants, trees, and ore. Gathering gives you experience and the materials which you can shoot over to your material storage with the Deposit All Materials button. Save these up for future crafting and trade skills. I will have a guide on that topic soon. At level 21, you will unlock your first traits. You unlock these in the same way as the skills with hero points. Once traits are unlocked, you choose which specializations to make your active ones, up to a maximum of 3. Then make choices within those trait trees to further mold your character. The elite specializations at the bottom of the list are tied to the Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire expansions, respectively. Achievement points. Like many games, Guild Wars 2 has achievement points for doing certain feats in the game for the first time. The achievement panel is also in the hero panel. At certain thresholds, you will get a chest of rewards. Here, I received a chest for getting to the 100 achievement points mark, containing an assortment of useful items. And with that, congratulations! You've now mastered Guild Wars 2 and seen everything it has to offer. Or not. Actually, not even close. There's a mountain of information I want to tell you, but I don't want to make this video 3 hours long. What I have selected here is what I feel enough to give you a strong start, and hopefully not feel lost. If you have any advice for new players that you think can help them when they are fresh out of the gate, please add it to the comments below. Additionally, I am available to answer questions every night on Twitch after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to use me as a resource. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, or follow me on Twitch, link below, to help support this endeavor with just a few clicks. More guides are coming soon, but that's it for today. Happy adventuring!